Good day, future RNs. This is Sir Josh. Today, we're going to discuss your disorders with your parathyroid gland. Okay, but before that, we're going to first discuss your anatomy and physiology of your parathyroid gland for you to be able to understand kapag nagkaroon tayo ng problems regarding when it comes to pag nagkaroon man to ng hyposecretion or hypersecretion. So now, let's start with our discussion. So, our parathyroid gland, it is just located, beneath our thyroid gland. Kaya nga siya tinawag na parathyroid gland. At the back of your thyroid gland, okay, nandun po nakalocate. Ganito po yung view, or okay, ganito po yung itsura ng ating parathyroid gland. Ibig sabihin from the word itself, para, di ba, in your medical glossary, para, ibig sabihin is beside or beneath. Okay, so that is your parathyroid gland. Meron po tayong 4 na small structures of your parathyroid gland. Okay, so it is embedded in your thyroid gland natin. So nakalagay po siya since our thyroid gland, okay, meron tayong dalawang lobe, we have your left and right. So in each thyroid gland that we have, meron po tayo naka-embed siya na tig-isang pair ng ating parathyroid glands. Okay, so it is embedded in our thyroid gland, and of course, ang number 1 function of your parathyroid gland is that it secretes your PTH. So your PTH, that stands for your parathyroid hormone, as we've discussed already this one with our discussion with our thyroid gland, and of course the other thyroid disorders that natapos na nating i-discuss na. So, your parathyroid gland class, or your parathyroid hormone, I should say. Okay, ang ginagawa po ng parathyroid hormone natin, it raises, It raises, okay, sulat natin, it raises your blood calcium level. It raises the blood calcium level. So, ang ating parathyroid gland, it helps usually with the regulation of your electrolytes, which is your calcium. Okay, tumutulong po siya sa ating calcium regulation in our body, and that is the function of your parathyroid gland through its hormone that is being secreted by itself, that is your parathyroid hormone. Okay, so in the first place, class, okay, bago tayo magkaroon ng tawag dito, pag tayo ay nagkaroon ng intake of your calcium, okay, for example, nagkaroon ka ng calcium intake, kumain ka ng calcium that are rich in, kumain ka ng food, okay, that are rich in calcium, or uminom ka ng drinks that are rich in calcium, that doesn't mean that it will going to be absorbed already or to be utilized by our body. Hindi po siya ganun, So, meron po tayong process with that one. Una, okay, once na nakapag-intake tayo ng calcium class, that will be absorbed first in your small intestine. Okay, your calcium will be absorbed first by your small intestine. By what? Sino muna ang gagamit yan para mas ma-absorb natin to in our blood vessels? It is through your what? It is through your lactose. And of course, together with your pancreatic enzymes. Okay, we also have your pancreatic enzymes. Kaya no wonder, class, for those person who have problems with their pancreas, like for example, in the case of your pancreatic enzyme, nagkakaroon po sila ng hypocalcemia. It's because in your small intestine, once na nakapag-intake tayo ng calcium, it is through your lactose, okay, and your pancreatic enzyme ang tutulong para ma-absorb po natin yung calcium into our blood. And after that one, okay, it will be absorbed already in your blood vessels natin. But that doesn't mean na once na na-absorb na ang ating calcium in our blood vessels, that doesn't mean or that doesn't necessitate na pwede na siyang gamitin ng ating katawan. Okay, kaya nga siya tinatawag muna na unionized calcium. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng unionized? Ibig sabihin nun, they are still considered as non-soluble. Okay? Nasa non-soluble form pa po sila. Ibig sabihin, they cannot be used or they cannot be absorbed by our body itself. Okay, so meron po tayong process, sabi natin, after being absorbed from your blood to your bone, okay, ano po yung ginagamit natin na vitamins na tawag natin? Tinatawag natin siyang vitamin D. Okay, yung vitamin D natin, class, tumutulong po siya together with your calcium para mas maganda ang maging absorption ng calcium in our body. And that is the role of your vitamin D. No wonder, class, yung ating vitamin D, the name itself is what? Calciferol. Kaya siya tinatawag na calciferol because your calcium and your vitamin D, they are best friends. Okay? Ibig sabihin, pag walang vitamin D, hindi enough ang vitamin D, hindi rin magiging maganda ang absorption ng ating calcium. Okay, so after being absorbed in our bones, I should say, meron po tayong dalawang route, Ano yung magiging route natin? It's either nagagamit po natin yung calcium natin through what? Nagagamit po natin yan through the process of your what? Matrix formation. Okay, tinatawag natin siyang matrix formation. So, in your matrix formation, ang nangyayari dyan, class, di ba sa ating, sa ating mga bones, meron tayong mga butas-butas dyan. Okay? Meron tayong mga butas-butas dyan, wherein yung calcium natin, dun po sila papasok. That's why it makes your what? It makes your bone stronger. Okay, yan po yung ginagawa ng ating calcium. Okay, it makes your bone stronger through the process of your matrix formation na tinatawag natin. And on the other hand naman, aside from your matrix formation, meron din po tayong tinatawag na mineralization. We have your mineralization. Anong ibig sabihin ng mineralization? On the other book, sinasabi na lang mineral ionization. Okay, in this process, ang nangyari lang dito, class, is that the blood from your bones, okay, they will be returned. Okay, they will be returned to your blood. Okay, lahat po, I mean, the calcium in your bones, I should say, sorry. The calcium in your bones, okay, it goes back to your blood. Okay, yung calcium na ginamit natin, i-utilize natin in your bones, they goes back to your blood. And that is the process ang tinatawag natin na mineralization. But through this one, di ba sabi natin, class, your parathyroid hormone, it secretes your parathyroid gland, it secretes your parathyroid hormone. And that is the function, sabi natin kanina, of your parathyroid hormone. It gets your calcium from your blood and it goes back, or kinuha niya po yung calcium from our blood and binabalik niya po, from our bones, and binabalik niya po yan into our blood. And that is through your what hormone? Through your parathyroid hormone. And once po na napunta na po yan sa ating sa ating blood, ano pang mangyayari doon sa calcium natin? Can it be utilized by our body? Yes, pwede na po siyang gamitin ng ating katawan kasi yung calcium na nanggaling sa ating bones to our blood, tinatawag na po natin siyang free ionized calcium. Okay, tinatawag na po natin siyang free ionized calcium. And that is already ready to be used or readily available to be utilized by our body. So, ganun po nag-work yung ating parathyroid hormone. Kinukuha niya po yung ating calcium from our bones pabalik po sa ating blood. Okay, you have to remember this one, class, that your parathyroid hormone, class, sabi natin before during our discussion with our thyroid disorders, no, ang ginagawa po, ano yung mga factors, no, that usually affect, okay, your parathyroid hormone secretion. Number one, we have, ano yung unang letter S, di ba? Sabi natin, we have your stress. And aside from that one, we also have your steroids. Okay? So, tandaan natin kasi that these factors usually affect your parathyroid hormone secretion by how? Pag tayo ay na-stress, pag tayo ay nag-take ng steroids, what will happen with the level of our parathyroid hormone? It will increase. Okay? Nag-i-increase po ang ating parathyroid hormone levels. Through your what? Possible stress. And of course, if you are taking your steroids. Kaya nag-i-increase po yung ating parathyroid hormones natin. Ngayon, to counterpart, di ba, meron pinoproduce yung ating thyroid gland, okay? To counterpart the regulation of, or the irregulation, okay, of your calcium, just in case masyadong mataas yung parathyroid hormone natin, since kinukuha natin lahat ng ating calcium from your bones to your blood, anong nangyayari sa ating bones? May matitira pa bang calcium? Definitely, magkukulang na po yung calcium in our blood, in our bones, I should say. Nagdi-decrease po yung level ng ating calcium in your bones. That is why anong pwedeng mangyari? Nagkakaroon po ng tinatawag na increase in the osteoclast activity of our bones. Ibig sabihin ng increase in our osteoclast in our bones, nasisira po yung ating bones. Diba? Osteoclast, ibig sabihin bone destruction. That's why nagiging marupok po yung bones natin pag nasobrahan po ng parathyroid hormone. Bakit? Kasi nga, kinukuha mo na lahat ng calcium from your bones papunta sa iyong blood. Ngayon, anong nangyari sa ating tawag dito? Anong nangyari naman sa calcium level in our blood pag masyadong maraming parathyroid hormone? Nag-i-increase po masyado yung ating calcium level in our blood. That's why nagkakaroon ka ng tinatawag na case na hypercalcemia. Ngayon, para tawag dito, para ma-correct natin, okay, just to maintain the homeostasis of our body, pag nagkaroon po ng masyadong increase, okay, in your parathyroid hormone levels, that's the time that your thyroid gland will interfere. Okay, yung thyroid gland natin, ma-activate po yung thyroid gland natin para mag-produce ng what? Para mag-produce ng tinatawag natin na thyrocalcitonin. And we all know that your tyrocalcitonin or your calcitonin itself is an antagonist of your parathyroid hormone natin. Okay? So next naman tayo here, meron pa tayo dito, no? Tandaan natin, class, that your calcium, kung ang ating calcium, ang best friend niya ay what? Ang best friend niya ay ang ating vitamin D. Ano naman ang kalaban ng ating calcium? Ang kalaban po ng ating calcium, it is your what? It is your phosphorus. Okay, it is your phosphorus na tinatawag natin. Therefore, this phosphorus and your calcium, they are inversely proportion with each other. Okay, ibig sabihin ng inversely proportion, pag tumaas ang level ng ating calcium, of course, bababa naman po ang level ng ating phosphorus. And kapag bumaba naman po ang level ng ating calcium, that's the time na mag-i-increase naman po ang ating phosphorus. That's why it makes these two electrolytes to be inversely proportion with each other. Inversely proportion with each other. Okay, so nagets na natin, no, kung paano nare-regulate yung calcium in our body. But then after that one, aside sa ating bones, aside sa ating blood, of course, meron pa pong ibang nag-utilize ng calcium in our body. Of course, we have your muscles, no? Okay, we have your muscles. Okay? Yung mga muscles activity natin, kapag nagkaroon po tayo ng increase, okay, masyadong madaming calcium in our blood, ano pang nangyayari? Nagkakaroon po ng hypoactivity of our muscles. Nagkakaroon po ng hypoactivity of our muscles. And kapag nag-decrease naman po ang ating calcium in our body, that's the time naman po na nagkakaroon ng hyperactivity. And it makes it what? It makes it also inversely proportion with each other. Okay, pag nag-increase ang calcium, nagkakaroon ng hypoactivity of our muscles. Pag nag-decrease si calcium, nagkakaroon naman po ng hyperactivity of our muscles. No wonder, okay, on top of this, marirealize nyo kung bakit nagkakaroon ng tetany, bakit nagkakaroon ng laryngospasm later on. It's because of the effect of your imbalances in your calcium. Okay, next naman tayo with our heart. In our heart naman, class, pag nag-increase naman po, okay, nag-increase ang ating calcium in our body, anong nangyayari sa ating heart? Okay, nagkakaroon po tayo ng increase in your heart rate. Nagkakaroon din po ng increase in your blood pressure. And kapag nag-decrease naman po ang ating calcium in our body, that's the time naman na bumababa ang ating heart rate. And of course, bumababa din ang ating blood pressure. That makes it what? That makes it directly proportion with each other. Okay, pag nag-increase si calcium, tataas ang heart rate, tataas ang ating blood pressure. Pag nag-decrease si calcium, bababa ang ating heart rate, bababa din ang ating blood pressure. Okay, so yan po yung effect ng ating calcium in our blood. Ngayon naman po, let's proceed with our kidneys. Our kidneys naman, class, ang effect po kasi ng ating calcium, pag tumaas masyado, class, pag tumaas masyado ang calcium in your kidneys, what happened with your, what happened with your, tawag dito with your kidneys? Nagkakaroon po ng tinatawag na supersaturated. Okay, yung ating calcium, pagdating sa ating kidney, nagiging supersaturated siya. Ibig sabihin, nagiging solid po. Okay, yung ating calcium pagdating sa ating kidney. Okay, that's why nagkakaroon ka ng renal calculi or nagkakaroon ka ng stone formation kapag marami kang calcium in our body. Napupunta sa ating kidneys. And aside from that one, ang number one effect din ng ating calcium in our kidneys, nagkakos ito ng tinatawag na osmotic diuresis. Okay, nagkakos to ng osmotic diuresis. So yan po yung mga part ng ating katawan, okay, that are usually using or utilizing your calcium to function. Okay, we have your muscles, ano pa yung heart natin, yung kidneys, in your blood, as well as with your bones na tinatawag natin. So, ready na ba tayo to discuss with your disorders in your parathyroid hormone, parathyroid glands natin? Okay, now we could start with our first. We have only two. Okay, pag nagkaroon lang naman ng hypersecretion, tinatawag natin siyang hyperparathyroidism. Pag sinabi naman po natin undersecretion or hyposecretion of your parathyroid hormone, tinatawag po natin siyang hypoparathyroidism. Okay, so let's start first with your hyperparathyroidism. Pag sinabi natin hyper, from the word self hyper, ibig sabihin nagkakaroon ng hypersecretion of your parathyroid hormone by your parathyroid gland natin. Ngayon, ang nangyayari test, ano ba yung number 1 na cause? Or pagdating sa ating etiology, number 1 class is your nagkaroon ka ng presence of your tumor at your parathyroid gland natin. Nagkaroon ka ng tumor at your parathyroid gland. Kaya ka nagkakaroon ng hypersecretion of your parathyroid gland natin. I mean, parathyroid hormone by your parathyroid gland. Sabi natin, no, dalawa lang naman yung pwedeng puntahan ng calcium natin. It's either in our blood or at the same point, pwede din sa ating bones. Okay, sa ating blood muna. Pag nag-increase po, okay, sabi natin, no, they are inversely proportional with each other. Na pag nag-increase ang ating calcium in our blood through your PTH, diba yun ang ginagawa ng PTH natin? Definitely, magdi-decrease naman po ang calcium in our blood. Okay, that's why, dito muna tayo sa ating blood. Okay, pag nagkaroon ng increase calcium in your blood, tinatawag natin siyang hypercalcemia. Okay, so natin siya, tinatawag natin siyang hypercalcemia. Ngayon, pag nagkaroon po ng hypercalcemia class, sabi natin din, no, that your phosphorus together with your calcium, they are also inversely proportional with each other. That's why pag nag-increase ang calcium level in our body, definitely anong mangyayari sa ating phosphorus? Nagdi-decrease naman po ang phosphorus level in our body. And after the absorption in our blood, pag yan pumunta ang ating calcium in our muscles, sabi natin din, inversely proportion din ang ating muscle activity together with the level of your calcium. Pag nag-increase, okay, pag nag-increase ang calcium in our body, anong mangyayari? Nagdi-decrease or nagkakaroon po tayo ng hypoactivity or nagiging hypoactive po yung ating mga muscles. That's why pagdating sa ating GI tract class, yung mga muscles that are usually, tawag dito, tumutulong para magkaroon tayo ng movement, okay, peristaltic movement, okay, yung mga muscles natin doon. In your GI tract class, pag nagkaroon ng hypoactivity in your gastrointestinal tract, anong mangyayari sa atin? Definitely magkakaroon ka ng constipation. Kaya ka nagkakaroon ng constipation kapag masyadong mataas ang level ng ating calcium in our body. Okay, next naman tayo with our heart. Pag nag-increase masyado ang ating calcium in our heart, sabi natin, they are directly proportional with each other. Ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon siya ng direct effect. Pag nag-increase ang ating calcium in our blood, ano nangyari sa ating heart? Okay, or I mean in our heart rate, nag-i-increase ang heart rate. How about with your blood pressure? Nag-i-increase din po ang ating blood pressure. Okay? How about now with our kidneys class? Pagdating sa ating kidneys, sabi natin kanina that in your kidneys, nagkakaroon po ng super saturation. Ibig sabihin, nagka-calcify or tumitigas po yung ating calcium pagdating sa ating kidney. Lalo pag masyado na siyang madami. Ngayon, pag-increase ang iyong calcium pagdating sa ating kidney, anong nangyari? Nagkakaroon ka ng stone formation or tinatawag natin na renal calculi. Okay, tinatawag natin siyang renal calculi. And aside from that one, sabi natin kanina, pag masyadong mataas ang calcium in our body, in our blood, pagdating sa ating kidney, nagkakos siya ng tinatawag na osmotic diuresis. That's why it will lead to what? It will lead to possible polyuria. And pag hindi natin na-control ang pagtaas ng calcium in our blood, ano mangyayari? Pag nagkaroon ka ng polyuria, pag hindi siya na-control, that will lead to what? That will lead to possible fluid volume deficit. Okay? And ang number one sign na nagkakaroon ka ng fluid volume deficit or nadidehydrate ka is what? Nagkakaroon ka ng thirst or nauuhaw po tayo. Okay, next naman tayo with in our bones, ang effect ng ating calcium in our bones. Pag ito ay nag-decrease, anong nangyayari sa ating bones? Sabi natin kanina, since kinuha mo na lahat, okay, through your parathyroid hormone, di ba? Paulit-ulit ko siyang sinasabi para maintindihan yung function mismo ng parathyroid hormone para hindi pa tayo mawala. Ngayon, pag kinuha mo lahat ng ating calcium in our bones, papunta sa ating what? Papunta sa ating blood through your parathyroid hormone. Anong nangyayari? Sabi natin kanina, nagkakaroon ng increase in your osteoclast activity. That's why nagkakaroon ng ano bang ibig sabihin ng osteoclast? Sinisira po niya ang ating mga bones. That's why nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na bone resorption. Okay, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na bone resorption. That's why pag kulang na po ang calcium in our bones, what will happen to our bones and our joints? Kaya ka nagkakaroon ng pain, okay, in your bones and in your joint. Pag wala ka ng calcium in your bones, sabi natin ang ating calcium tumutulong yan para patigasin yung ating mga buto-buto. anong mangyayari sa'yo? You're already at risk to develop yung tinatawag natin na pathologic fracture. Okay, nagkakaroon ka ng tinatawag na pathologic fracture that will lead to what? Higher chance or higher risk for you for fracture. Okay, so yan po yung nangyayari sa ating calcium pag ito ay nag-increase in our blood. Okay, that's in the case of your hyperparathyroidism. Okay, so let's proceed now with your tinatawag natin na management. Okay, pagdating sa management natin, class, ang pinaka number 1 pagdating sa ating treatment, okay, of course, since ang pinaka cause kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng hyperparathyroidism, nagkaroon ka ng tumor at your parathyroid, then therefore we have to remove that underlying tumor. Okay, I mean underlying problem. Okay, we have to remove the tumor. Okay, ito surgical intervention. That's why ngayon, aside from that one, okay, of course, since masyadong mataas yung calcium natin, okay, nagkakaroon ng imbalance in our calcium, what will be the diet of your patient? Of course, you have to decrease the calcium intake or what? Ipababa dapat ang calcium intake ng patient natin as part of your diet. Ngayon, meron po tayong mga pharmacologic interventions sa pagdating sa mga ganitong condition. Pag masyadong mataas yung ating calcium level, sabi natin, no, that your thyroid gland will release what? Will secrete what? Your thyrocalcitonin na tinatawag. But then, pag what if kulang? Yung masyadong madami talaga yung talagang very, hindi talaga sila proportion pagdating sa production ng PTH and your thyrocalcitonin. Pag masyadong madami talaga yung ng mismong level ng parathyroid hormone natin, that's the time that you're going to administer yung calcitonin na tinatawag natin. Okay, magbibigay po tayo ng calcitonin. Okay, sabi natin kanina that your phosphorus and your calcium, they are indirectly proportion with each other. Therefore, pag tumaas ang calcium level natin, bababa ang ating phosphate. I'm so sorry, it's your phosphate level. Okay, I'm so sorry, class. It's your phosphate level. Ano mangyayari pag bumaba ang ating phosphorus? I should say, okay, ano nangyayari? Kailangan mo siyang i-increase ang ating phosphorus. Okay, that's why, ano mangyayari sa ating diet? You're just going to increase your phosphorus or your phosphate in the diet of your patient to have your hyperparathyroidism. Okay, pagdating naman po sa ating drug of choice, of course, you're just going to administer your intravenous phosphate natin. Okay, you're just going to administer your IV or intravenous phosphate as prescribed by your physician. Sabi natin kanina ang effect ng ating calcium in our muscle activities. Pag yan sa ating GI tract, pag masyadong mataas ang calcium level natin, nagdi-decrease ang ating muscle activity, nagkakaroon ng hypoactivity. That's why pagdating sa ating GI tract, nagkakaroon ka ng constipation. Therefore, pag nagkaroon ng constipation si patient, what will be your instruction is that you're just going to what? You're just going to increase the fluids and of course, increase the fiber intake, I should say. Okay, next naman tayo. Since ang ating mga bones, they are very weak. Okay, our bones are very weak. Wait lang, i-adjust lang natin siya. At nag-move ang ating presentation. Ano ba yan? Bakit siya nag-move? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay. Wait lang. Okay. Ayan, since nagkaroon po ng bone resorption na tinatawag natin, what will be our, tawag dito, wait lang class, i-erase ko lang to. Nag-move tuloy siya, no ba yan? Salat natin sa drug of choice ng ating hyperparathyroidism IV phosphate, pag constipation, increase fluids, and increase fiber in diet. Okay, dito tayo sa ating bones, sabi natin nagkakaroon ng weakening of your bones. Masyadong weak na yung ating mga bones. That's why our utmost priority is to what? To avoid possible injury of our patients. Okay, we have to avoid any injury. And pagdating naman sa kanyang mga activities, dapat ay kailangan what? Dapat moderate activities or exercises lang po yan, ha? Hindi po siya pwedeng mag-engage into, into rigorous activities or rigorous exercises that will involve with the mobility, no? Masyadong mobility with your paggamit, I should say, ng ating mga buto-buto at ng ating mga joints. Okay? And of course, pagdating sa ating drug of choice here, meron tayong tinatawag na alendronate. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na alendronate, or the other term of this one, okay, meron tayong tinatawag na Fosamax. We have your alendronate or your Fosamax para sa mga mahihinang mga buto-buto at kasukasuhan. Okay, pagdating naman sa ating heart, sabi natin ang effect ng ating pag-increase ng calcium in our blood, nag-i-increase din po kasabay nito nag-i-increase din ang iyong heart rate at nag-i-increase din po ang ating blood pressure. That's why you have to, what are you going to do? You're just going to monitor for the vital signs or closely monitor for the vital signs of our patient. And sabi natin, pagdating sa ating kidney, nagkakos ang ating too much calcium in our body. Pagdating sa kidney, nagkakos siya ng osmosis diuresis. That's why, osmotic diuresis, that's why pwede si patient magkaroon ng polyuria. Pag nagkaroon si patient ng polyuria, risk siya for what? Fluid volume deficit. That's why you're going to what? You're going to increase the fluid intake of your patient. You're going to increase or dapat pataasin, you're going to replace just in case nagkaroon siya ng fluid loss, and of course, i-force fluid mo yan just in case hindi talaga kaya ng katawan natin na makontrol yung fluid loss natin. And aside from that one, sabi natin, bakit kailangan natin itaas, i-replace, i-force ang fluid ng patient natin? It's because aside sa yung fluid volume deficit, pwede rin siyang magkaroon ng tinatawag na renal calculi or nagkakaroon siya ng stone formation. So, that's it for our discussion with your hyperparathyroidism. Now, let's proceed now with your hypoparathyroidism naman. Okay, kabaliktaran lang po nito, class. Diba, sabi natin, pag hypoparathyroidism, nagkakaroon ka lang ng hyposecretion of your parathyroid hormone by your parathyroid gland natin. And then, pagdating naman po, class, okay, pagdating sa etiology nito, pagdating sa cause, kung bakit ka nagkakaroon ng hypoparathyroidism, it's because of what? Number one cause, we have your thyroidectomy. Anong ibig sabihin ng thyroidectomy? Surgical removal of your thyroid gland natin. Bakit paano pa nakaka-apekto na pag dinanggal mo ang ating thyroid gland, nagkakaroon ka na ng hypoparathyroidism? It's because, sabi natin kanina, your parathyroid glands, they are embedded in your thyroid gland natin. Okay, and ngayon, meron kasi tayong mataas na risk, no, for our patients who will undergo your subtotal thyroidectomy, pwede po kasi tayong magkaroon ng accidental removal of your parathyroid gland. Okay, pwedeng accidentally, pwedeng matanggal yan during the surgery, yung mismong parathyroid gland natin. Okay, kaya that's why it's not recommended, no, that if a person is suffering from hyperthyroidism, okay, if ang pinaka-last resort natin will be your surgery, which is your thyroidectomy, tinatawag natin siyang subtotal thyroidectomy. Hindi mo pwedeng tanggalin lahat ng buong thyroid. Okay? And aside from that one, class, kapag nag-undergo si patient ng thyroidectomy, pwedeng matanggal ang kanyang, accidentally remove your parathyroid gland. Kaya pag natanggal mo ang parathyroid gland mo, meron pa bang magproduce ng parathyroid hormones natin? Wala na. That's why nagkakaroon ka ng hyposecretion of your parathyroid hormones. Ngayon, sabi natin, 'di ba, pag natanggal ang parathyroid gland natin, nag-decrease ang level ng ating parathyroid hormone. Anong mangyayari sa ating calcium in our blood? Meron pa bang kakayahan ng ating katawan para ibalik ang ating calcium from your bones papunta sa ating blood? Wala na po. Kaya nagdi-decrease ang calcium in your blood. Kaya ka nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na hypocalcemia. Kaya ka nagkakaroon ng hypocalcemia natin. Therefore, pag nag-decrease ang ating calcium in your blood, kabaliktaran naman po, nagkakaroon ng increase of your calcium in your bones natin. Okay, aside from that one, pag nag-increase or nag-decrease ang ating calcium in our blood, ano nangyari sa ating phosphorus? Nag-i-increase po ang ating phosphorus. At pagdating naman po sa ating muscles, since sabi natin, they are inversely proportional with each other. Ngayon, pag sinabi natin, nag-decrease ang ating calcium, anong mangyayari sa ating muscles? Nagkakaroon ng hyperactivity. Okay, nagiging hyperactive po yung mga muscles sa atin. Ngayon, pag naging hyperactive po yung mga muscles sa atin in our GI tract, pwede ka magkaroon ng diarrhea. Di ba? Kabaliktaran lang siya. So, pag alam mo ng hyper, alam mo na automatically yung hypo natin. Ganun lang po mag-aral ng endocrine disorders natin. Ngayon, ito ang medyo delikado, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na spasm kasi. Okay, yung mnemonics natin dito, twitching spasm. Bakit twitching spasm? Okay? Letter T. Ano yung letter T na na-highlight na ka-red? Number 1, pag nagkaroon ka ng tinatawag na hyperactivity of your muscle due to the decreased level in your calcium in your blood, anong tawag natin doon? Pwede kang magkaroon ng tetany. Okay, na-discuss natin ito sa ating subtotal thyroidectomy in the discussion of your hyperthyroidism. No? Na pag nag-undergo si patient ng subtotal thyroidectomy, pwede kang, si Ariana Grande, medyo makulit, no? Okay, ngayon pag nagkaroon ka ng subtotal thyroidectomy, since pwede mo matanggal accidentally yung ating parathyroid hormone, parathyroid gland, magdi-decrease ang secretion ng ating parathyroid hormone. That's why pag nag-decrease ang calcium, pagdating sa ating muscles, pwede kang magkaroon ng hyperactivity of your muscles. That's why nagkakaroon ka ng tetany, or ibig sabihin ng tetany, nagkakaroon ka ng spasm. Okay? And aside from that one, letter T, you have your Trosu sign na tinatawag natin. Okay, ano ba yan? Trosu. Okay, meron tayong tinatawag na Trosu signs, or yung ibig sabihin ng test, that is your carpal pedal or carpopedal spasm. Okay, carpopedal spasm. Ngayon, pag nagkaroon ka ng carpopedal spasm, paano po natin siya makukuha? Or paano po na siya na-elicit yung ating carpopedal spasm? Okay, kuha ka lang ng blood pressure apparatus mo. Okay, ilalagay mo yung BP cuff. And then, pag nag-inflate ka ng iyong BP cuff, anong nangyari? Nagkakaroon ng spasm na ganito. Sa may kamay natin naggaganyan yan. So, i-search na lang kung anong itsura ng Trosu sign natin. Okay, naggaganyan yung iyong kamay. Okay, aside from that one, meron din tayong tinatawag na Vostek sign. Okay, letter C, that is your Vostek sign natin. Okay, we have your Vostek sign. How can we elicit your Vostek sign naman? Nagkakaroon ka kasi ng facial spasm. Okay, you're just going to tap the cheeks of your patient. Pag tinap mo yan, sasama yung iyong lips. Okay, kung saan ka nagtap na part ng face ng patient natin. Kung sa right ka nagtap, maggaganyan din yung face or yung mismong mouth ng patient or nagkakaroon ng, fina-follow niya mismo kung saan ka nagtap ng fingers. So that's your Vostek sign na tinatawag natin. And the worst thing is that, okay, your letter S, we have your spasm. Okay, saan ka nagkakaroon ng spasm? Possible, pwede ka magkaroon ng spasm in your airway, like in your what parts of your airway? Yung tinatawag natin na larynx and your bronchus. Okay, ngayon pag nagkaroon ng spasm in your larynx and your bronchus, nakakamatay ba siya? Yes, nagkakaroon ng stricture, nagkakaroon ng paninikip due to spasm. Definitely pwedeng ikamatayan ng patient natin na merong hypoparathyroidism. And of course, ano yung signs na pwede nating ma-assess pag nagkakaroon ng laryngospasm na tinatawag? Nagkakaroon ka ng, upon auscultation, nagkakaroon ka ng stridor na tinatawag. Nakakarinig ka ng stridor. Ibig sabihin, pag nagkaroon ng stridor, naninikip yung mismong airway natin. And the last letter S is that pag umabot yan sa brain natin, pwede ka magkaroon ng seizure. Okay, so yan po yung effect ng ating decreased calcium in our blood, in our muscles. Ngayon, sa heart naman natin, sabi natin, they are directly proportional with each other. Pagdating sa ating heart, ano nangyayari? Since bumaba ang calcium in our blood, of course, nagdi-decrease naman po ang ating heart rate. And of course, pwedeng bumagsak, okay, ang ating blood pressure. Okay, pagdating naman po sa ating management class, dito tayo sa ating management. Sa ating management class, what will be our management? Since nag-increase po, okay, since nag-decrease ang ating calcium in our body, nagkaroon ka ng hypocalcemia. Of course, pagdating sa ating calcium class, what are you going to do? Malamang sa malamang, you're going to what? You're going to increase the level of your calcium. Okay, pagdating sa ating diet, you're going to increase the level of your calcium as well as with the natin. Ganun po yun. So, aside from that one class, we also have here your phosphate. Sabi natin ano bang nangyari sa phosphate level natin. Okay, pagdating sa ating phosphate level, pwede siyang what? Pag bumaba ang calcium natin, pwede siyang tumaas yung ating phosphate na tinatawag. Okay, and aside from that one class, okay, with your laryngospasm, pag nagkaroon ng laryngospasm naman, diniscuss na natin to before, pag nagkaroon ka ng laryngospasm, what will you going to prepare at your bedside? Okay, what are you going to prepare at your bedside? You're going to prepare for, tinatawag natin na trach set. Okay, tracheostomy set. Okay? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng tracheostomy set? You're going to what? Bubutasan mo yung mismong trachea mo kasi dun sa mismong airway mo, nanikip na yung iyong airway. That's why bubutasan natin ang ating trachea. Okay, aside from that one class, pagdating naman sa bronchospasm, you're just going to give what? Magbibigay lang po tayo ng mga medications that could actually help to bronchodilate or i-dilate natin yung ating tinatawag na bronchos natin due to your bronchospasm. Okay, pwede natin ibigay na gamot. What will be our drug of choice for this one? Pwede ka magbigay ng salbutamol just to dilate the bronchus of our patient. Okay, pagdating naman sa ating seizure, pag nagkaroon naman ng seizure yung client natin, what are we going to do pag nagkaroon ng seizure? So, we're just going to prepare for what? Seizure precautions natin. Okay, ano yung mga precautions natin? Of course, pag nag-seizure si patient, dapat hindi mo siya dapat i-restrain. Ano pa? Dapat ay hindi mo siya dapat what? Hindi mo siya dapat lalagyan ng kung ano-ano sa bunganga ng patient natin pag nag-seizure. Mali po yan. Lalagyan ng tinidor, lalagyan ng anything in their mouth. Pag nag-seizure, no. Hindi po pwede yun. And aside from that one, after the seizure, you're going to what? During the seizure, you're going to protect the head of your patient, lalo pag nagbabang yan ng ulo niya. And aside from that one class, what are you going to do? After the seizure, you're going to turn your patient into side lying position para hindi siya ma-aspirate. Bakit? Kasi pag ano yan, pwede kasi hindi niya makontrol yung ano ng airway niya, pwede siyang maglaway. So, pwede niyang malunok yung sarili niyang laway. Pwede siyang magkaroon ng aspiration. Kaya ita-turn mo siya sa side para ma-drain lahat ng kanyang secretions. Okay, aside from your heart, okay, with your heart naman po, sabi natin nagkakaroon ka ng decrease in your BP and your HR. That's why you're going to closely monitor again for your vital signs natin. Okay, hindi ko na nasulat class, no? Sa phosphate, ay sa diet natin class, okay? What are you going to do para mas pag magbigay ka na, mag-increase tayo ng calcium in our diet, dapat dagdagan mo yan ng what? Dagdagan mo ng vitamin D natin para mas maganda yung magiging absorption ng ating tinatawag na calcium. And what will be our, hindi ko nasulat, no? Sorry. Okay, medyo nalulutang na si sir. Okay? Ngayon sa ating drug of choice test, what are you going to do is, of course, our pinaka-drug of choice is that you're going to, what? You're going to administer your calcium gluconate as prescribed by your physician. Okay, sa diet ng patient natin, since nagkakaroon ng hyperphosphatemia, okay, kailangan mong i-decrease ang ating diet ng patient natin. So, what will be our drug of choice for this one? We're going to administer your tinatawag natin na aluminum hydroxide. Okay, we're going to administer your aluminum hydroxide or yung tinatawag natin na ampho-gel natin. Ampho-gel. Okay, kasi yung ating aluminum, they are considered as what? They are considered as calcium binder po ang mga ito. Okay, so that's it for our discussion for your parathyroid gland disorders.